Now you own the Sonocon B Ultrasonic Flaw Detector. It allows to carry out an accurate ultrasonic testing. Let's dwell upon the appearance and completeness of your purchase the moment you received it. Your flaw detector will be supplied in this bag. The following items should be included in this bag: electronic unit of the Sonocon B flaw detector. The unit is supplied with detachable handles for the convenient holding in the operator's hand. The charger serves for the unit connection to the power supply network and for charging the removable battery. Cables for the transducer connection to the flaw detector. Piezoelectric transducers are also included into the basic delivery set. Headphones to be connected to the flaw detector. Cable for the flaw detector connection to PC. Operation manual for the Sonocon B ultrasonic flaw detector. You should obligatorily read this document as it contains some important information. CD for installing the application-dependent software, which enables to transmit data from the flaw detector to PC for further processing. Interchangeable plugs for the charger, which allow to connect the charger to sockets of different standards. Now we have checked your delivery set. Let's consider the Sonocon B flaw detector and its functional capabilities. The left side panel includes headphones connector, charger connector, power button. Pressing these buttons switches the flaw detector and F. The rear panel of the instrument includes the flaw detector nameplate, serial number, name, manufacturing date, etc., communication cable connector to PC. USB port for connecting the external devices. The right side panel includes encoder connector, piezoelectric transducer connectors, receiver, pulsar, the top panel includes 3 mm thickness calibration block, removable battery compartment cover, Now let's consider the main functions of the flaw detector buttons in the basic software version. Switch on the flaw detector by pressing and holding the power button until the sound and light signals appear. The front panel includes FN LED light emitting diode, which indicates the pressed position of FN button, light indicator of automatic flaw alarm, and acoustic coupling control. Gain down button for decreasing the gain of the receiving path. Gain up button for increasing the gain of the receiving path. Button for scrolling through the flaw detector menu up. Button for scrolling through the flaw detector menu down. Button for moving between the menu titles to the right. Button for moving between the menu titles to the left. Button for increasing the parameter value chosen from the menu or for selecting possible parameter values. Button for decreasing the parameter value chosen from the menu or for selecting possible parameter values. Button for changing the step of a selected parameter. Freeze button for image fixation on the flaw detector display. Button for zooming the signal shape in gate 1. Button for confirming the input. Button for returning to the previous menu level. This button cyclically switches over the multi-icons. Edit gain button. This button takes the flaw detector to the mode of Scan Main Parameters Control. This button takes the flaw detector to the mode of Gate 1 Main Parameters Control. Functional button, to be used in combination with other buttons. Let's consider the additional functions of buttons in the basic software version. The additional functions of buttons are activated by FN functional button. Button serves for switching between the modes of absolute and relative gain. Button goes through the preferred step values of gain adjustment. Button switches on the automatic gain control that sets the maximum signal in a gate to the reference level. This button cycles through the rectification modes. This button takes the instrument to the mode of Gate 2 Main Parameters Control. Use this button to open the calibration submenu depending on the input value of the probe angle. This button opens the window Files list or the window of a new file data input. This button switches the Estimate mode on/off. Button for moving between the pages of a full menu. This button switches the Pick Hold mode on/off. This button resets the pick curve. Button for navigating through the pages of a full menu. This button switches the Freeze mode on/off. Button for zooming the signal shape in Gate 2. Let's consider the operation of Ultrasonic Flaw Detector in UT Basic software version in different modes. Use this button to take the flaw detector to the mode of Scan Main Parameters Control. Button for increasing the scan width. Button for decreasing the scan width. Button for increasing the scan delay. Button for decreasing the scan delay. Button for increasing, decreasing the scan level. This button returns the instrument to the normal mode. This button takes the instrument to the mode of Gate 1 Main Parameters Control. Button for switching on off the Gate 1. Button for increasing the Gate 1 width. Button for decreasing the Gate 1 width. Button for moving the Gate 1 to the right. Button for moving the Gate 1 to the left. These buttons simultaneously lift up all levels of Gate 1. These buttons simultaneously moves down all levels of Gate 1. This button returns the instrument to the normal mode. This button cyclically switches the multi-icons. The first multi-icon, Gate Mode, is intended for setting the main gate parameters. Button for choosing the gate which will drive the alarm activation. Button for choosing the signals between which the measurement is performed. Button for switching on off the measuring marker. Button for choosing the measuring mode, peak or flank. Button for choosing the gate level whereby the sound alarm will be switched on when the alarm has been triggered. The second multi-icon, Measured Parameters, is intended to set up the indication of 5 parameters displayed in the information area of the screen. Button for choosing the parameter 1. Button for choosing the parameter 2. Button for choosing the parameter 3. Button for choosing the parameter 4. Button for choosing the screen parameter. The third multi-icon, Display, is intended to set up the basic parameters for the interface. Button for choosing the appropriate measurement unit, mm or inch. Button for choosing the color scheme of the display screen, light or dark. Button for choosing the language of the flaw detector interface. Button for adjusting the brightness of the flaw detector display screen. This button returns the instrument to the normal mode. Button for switching on the relative gain mode. Double press of these buttons returns the instrument to the normal gain mode. Button for adding the chosen relative gain. This button cancels the addition of the chosen relative gain. This button takes the instrument to the mode of Gate 2 Main Parameters Control. This button switches on off the Gate 2. Button for increasing the Gate 2 width. Button for decreasing the Gate 2 width. This button moves the Gate 1 to the left. This button moves the gate 1 to the right. This button simultaneously lifts up all levels of gate 2. This button simultaneously moves down all levels of gate 2. This button returns the instrument to the normal mode. This button opens the calibration submenu depending on the input value of the probe angle. If the value of the probe angle is 0 degrees, the calibration submenu of straight beam probes is opened. We can set up the scan using the submenu items delay and range, as well as start and width for gate 1 or gate 2 respectively. The first signal is gated by the first gate, the second signal is gated by the second gate. With the submenu item thickness, we can set up the calibration block thickness. Now switch on the AGC mode. Using the button Enter, we perform a measurement and confirm the saving of measured parameters. Use the Escape button to exit from the calibration submenu. Now we set up the probe angle value for the angle beam probe. Open the calibration submenu and choose the calibration block. Then we switch on the AGC mode. Using the Enter button, we perform a measurement and confirm the saving of measured parameters. Finally, we use the Escape button to exit from the calibration submenu. If the screen freeze mode is switched off, the button opens the file list window. Using F1-F4 buttons, we can carry out different actions with files. This button closes the file list window. If the screen freeze mode is switched on, then this button opens the information input window in a new file. Use this button to save the file. Now we switch off the screen freeze mode. This button switches on the Estimate mode. This mode allows to find the signal from the defect with the maximum amplitude, and the Flaw Detector automatically sets the signal with the maximum amplitude to the reference level. Double press of this button returns the instrument to the normal mode. This button switches on the peak hold mode. This button resets the peak curve. Double press of this button switches off the peak hold mode. This button switches on the freeze mode. Two signals appear on the screen: current active signal and the signal registered at the moment when this mode is switched on. Double press of this button switches off the freeze mode. Let's consider the Sonocon B operation in the thickness gauge mode. For these, go to the Options menu and choose the Version item and set up thickness gauge plus value. Then we choose the required probe from the list of saved ones. The flaw detector screen is divided into 4 main parts. Area 1 displays the menu titles, Area 2 displays the selected menu contents, Area 3 shows the current product thickness and a scan with the horizontal scale of product thickness, Area 4 includes the information panel. Button for decreasing the receiving path gain of the thickness gauge when the AGC mode is switched off. Button for increasing the receiving path gain of the thickness gauge when the AGC mode is switched off. This button cyclically switches the multi-icons that appear top of all on the flaw detector screen. Button for selecting the measurement threshold, blank or zero blank. Button for selecting the measurement mode from 0 to 1 or from 1 to 2. Button for switching on off the measuring marker on off. Switching on off the sound alarm when the alarm triggers. Button for selecting the conditions for alarm triggering. Button for choosing the display discreteness of measurement values. Button for selecting the flaw detector interface language. Button for adjusting the brightness of the flaw detector display screen. Button for choosing the color scheme of the display screen, light or dark. Button for choosing the measurement mode, conventional or minimal and maximum, or differential, or percent of wear. Button for navigating between the flaw detector menu items up. Button for navigating between the flaw detector menu items down. Button for moving through the menu titles to the right. Button for moving through the menu titles to the left. Button for increasing the value of the parameter chosen from the menu. Button for decreasing the value of the chosen parameter. Button for recording the current measurement in the current cell of an opened data file. Button for detailed examination of the signal shape within Gate 1 on the thickness gauge screen. Let's consider the mode of Fast Parameters Control. Button for Scan Main Parameters Control. Button for increasing the scan delay. Button for decreasing the scan delay. Button for increasing the scan range. Button for decreasing the scan range. Button for Gate 1 Main Parameters Control. This button simultaneously lifts up all levels of Gate 1. This button simultaneously moves down all levels of Gate 1. This button moves Gate 1 to the right. This button moves Gate 1 to the left. Button for increasing the Gate 1 length. button for decreasing the gate 1 length. Now let's consider the additional button functions activated by pressing the function button. Button for switching over the rectification modes. Button for Gate 2 main parameters control. Button for running the procedure of velocity and probe 0 calibration delay. This button activates the procedure of probe 0 calibration.